I don't know. Hello, everybody. We are here at the Olentangy Orange versus New Albany bowling match at Capri Lanes, where today it is Senior Day, and we will be honoring a few seniors tonight. Currently on the lanes ahead of you, you have a few Orange girls, including Rami, Eve, and Remy. Where they are currently on their fourth frame of the first game. Eve currently just bowled a 9. And Eve is awaiting her second throw. The score currently is at Remy 42, Eve 44, and Rami 40 on lane 21. On the far right, we have Mackenzie Patterson, who is currently a senior. She currently has a score of 37, awaiting her fourth throw. We just have junior Rami Shields, who bowled a strike. Next up for the Orange girls, we have Remy Gray. And she just bowled an 8 on her fifth frame. She's getting ready to throw her second ball of the fifth frame.
Well, it's all right. So do the suitcase, go 15.
And a spare. This puts her current score at 52. Next up, we have Eve. Who just bowled a 9 on her fifth frame. As she gets ready to throw the ball for her second throw of the fifth frame. She will successfully bowl a spare. This puts her total score at 64 after 5 frames. Next up, we have junior Rami Shields. As she's getting ready to throw her fifth frame. And she bowls a 9. I love the hooking method there. She now awaits her second throw of the fifth frame, hoping to get a spare. And she successfully gets the spare. She is now tied with fellow Orange Pioneer Remy at 70, going into the sixth frame. We are currently watching two New Albany girls on lane 21. The New Albany girls' scores are currently at 94 and 96 in the 6th frame. Ramey is now getting set for her 6th frame. She will be bowling down lane 22. Successfully bowling a strike. Remy is now getting set for her 7th frame. And she bowls a 9. Remy and misses it. Eve is now getting set for her 7th frame. And she bowls a 7. And on her 2nd frame, she bowls a 2. That puts her total score at 9 for the 7th frame, and her total score at 91. Next up, Ramey Shields. And she bowls a 9. Once again, looking for the successful spare. She is now getting set for that 2nd throw. And she just barely misses it. Her total score is now at 108 after 7 frames. Ramey throws her first ball of the 8th frame. Successfully bowling. She gets ready to throw her second ball. Looking to set up a successful spare. And she just barely misses it. Her total score is at 117 after 8 frames. We have Pioneer Remy Gray getting ready for her 9th frame. And she gets a strike. Pioneer Eve is up next for her 9th frame. She is now getting set for the throw. She's getting ready for her second throw in an attempt to get the 3 remaining pins after bowling a 7. She bowls a 1, putting her total score at 108. Pioneer Ramey Shields gets ready for her 9th frame. And she hooks in a successful 9. She's now getting set for her second throw, hoping for a successful spare. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Her total score is now at 127. Over on lane 22, Remy Gray successfully gets the spare. She is now getting set for her third throw of the final frame. And she bowls a 9. Her total score finishes at 146. We are now getting ready for the final frame of Pioneer Eve. She bowls an 8 for her first throw. Now looking for the spare. Her total score finishes at 117. She successfully gets the strike on her final frame. She now gets the third throw. And she bowls a second strike. That's 2 in a row. She will now get yet another attempt. And she bowls a third strike. Her total score finishes at 167. Over on lane 23, we have senior Mackenzie Patterson, who currently bowled a strike for her 8th frame. Her total score currently sits at 107. Pioneer Lauren currently just bowled her 9th frame on lane 23. She bowled a spare, putting her total score at 81 after 9 frames. Now back to lanes 21 and 22. They are currently starting their second game. On the first frame, Pioneer Remy Gray bowls an 8. She is getting ready for her second throw. And she gets one of the 2 pins remaining for a 9 on her first frame. Next up, we have Eve. She gets ready for the first throw, where she bowls a 9. She's getting ready for her second throw, an attempt to get a spare. And she gets it. Next up, junior Ramy Shields. Ramy Shields bowls an 8. She now gets ready to make a spare. Over on lane 21, Remy Gray has just bowled an 8 for her second frame. Ramey Shields now gets ready for her second throw. And she gets one of the 2 pins remaining for a total score of 9 after the first frame. Remy Gray's just bowled her second ball, where she gets one of the 2 pins remaining also, putting her total score at 18 after 2 frames. Eve has just polished up her ball as she gets ready for the second frame. And she bowls an 8. She now gets ready for her second throw. And she gets one of the 2 pins remaining for a total score of 27 after 2 frames. Ramey Shields now gets ready for her second frame. And she bowls a strike. Remy Gray is now up for her third frame. Remy Gray has bowled a 9 for her third frame. She successfully gets the spare, putting her total score at 28. Eve has just bowled a 9. She now gets ready for her second throw. And she successfully gets the spare. Her total score is at 37 after 3 frames. Ramey Shields is up next. Hoping to continue the success after her strike from the second frame, and it looks like, unfortunately, she has bowled a 6. She's now getting ready for a comeback on the second throw of the third frame. And she gets 1 pin remaining Actually, she gets 2 pins remaining, putting her final score at 35 after 3 frames. Next up, Remy Gray. Remy Gray's just bowled a 9 for the first throw of her 4th frame. She successfully gets the spare, putting her total score at 47 after 4 frames. Next up is Eve Wicks. And she successfully bowls a strike. That's the second Pioneer strike in this second game. Ramey Shields is up next. She's looking for a huge comeback at this point. No need to worry. She won't disappoint. She now gets ready for her first throw. Where it looks like she's back on track after bowling a strike. Next up is Remy Gray on lane 22. And it looks like she has bowled a 3. She's looking for a huge comeback in her second throw. Looks like she's gotten 3 additional pins. She turned out to get 4 additional pins. Eve successfully gets the spare, putting her total score at 77 after 5 frames. Ramey Shields is up next. And she gets a second strike in a row. Her total score is now at 65 at the halfway point. Remy Gray is over on lane 21 getting ready for her first throw. She bowls an 8. She now gets ready to successfully make the spare. And she gets it. Her total score is now at 67. Eve Wicks is up next. And she bowls a 7. My apologies, that looks like to be an 8. She's now looking to successfully complete the spare. Looks like lane 21 is having a few minor technical difficulties. Please stand by. We have currently come to a slight minor halt as we work out the minor technical difficulties in lane 21. Over on lane 23 and 24, Mackenzie Patterson is currently at a total score of 54 after just 3 frames. And Lauren Deck is at 24 after 3 frames. The scores of the New Albany girls after 6 frames is 93 and 86. 46, 23, and 34 the other New Albany girls' scores going into their 4th frame. Looks like we're back on track. Ramey Shields is getting set for her 6th throw. Will she get that 3rd strike in a row? And very, very close. She gets a 9. Hopefully she can redeem herself with the spare. Remy just pulled a strike for her 7th frame. Her total score is at 87 after 7. Ramey Shields looks for the spare, and she gets it. Her total score is at 94, tied with Eve Wicks. Eve is now getting set for her 7th throw. Where she bowls a 9. Will she get the spare? She's getting set for her 2nd throw. She gets the spare. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, the Pioneers are on fire. Over here on lanes 21 and 22, it is neck and neck with the New Albany girls at 102 and 106. And orange is Remy Gray at 87, Eve Wicks at 104, and Ramey Shields at 94. Ramey Shields gets set for her 7th frame. And she bowls a 9 for the 2nd time in a row. My apologies, that looks to be an 8. She has bowled a 9, but it showed up as an 8 on the board. Will she get the spare? And she gets it.
We're not going to mess anything up.
Come on, Remy.
Remy Gray has just bowled her 8th frame, where she will get a 9. She's looking to get that 7 pin all the way on the left corner. And she gets the spare. Her total score is now at 107 after 8 frames. Next up is Eve Wicks. She bowls a 9. Eve is now looking to complete the spare. And she just barely misses it. But she still leads the Pioneers after 8 frames at 122. Ramey has just bowled a strike for her 8th frame. She now leads the Pioneers at 133 after 8 frames. Remy has also bowled a strike. Watch out, everybody. The Pioneers are hot. Eve Wicks has bowled an 8. She is now looking to complete the spare. And unfortunately, she does not make it. Her final score is 130 after 9 frames. Ramey Shields is now bowled on lane 22. Looks like she's bowled an 8. Ramey Shields completes the spare, putting in her final score at 153 after 9 frames. We are now going into the final frame for the Pioneers on lanes 21 and 22.
Zoe, your order's ready, Zoe.
Remy Gray is now getting set for her final frame. Looks like she is bowled an 8. Remy Gray has thrown her second ball, where she successfully gets one of the 2 pins remaining. She finishes with 145 for the second game. Over on lanes 23 and 24, we have Mackenzie Patterson at a total score of 100 after 6 frames. And remember, Pioneer, she is a senior with us. Lauren Deck currently has a total score of 55 after 7 frames after successfully just now bowling a spare. Back over to lane 21 and 22. Eve Wicks has just bowled a 9 for her final frame, and she is now looking for the spare. It's all or nothing, ladies and gentlemen. And she gets it. Completing the spare on a thrilling gutter line ball. She now gets that 3rd attempt. It's do or die time, ladies and gentlemen. And Eve Wicks gets 7 of the 10 pins for her 3rd attempt. She finishes with 147. Ramey Shields is now getting set for her final throw. And she bowls an 8. She's now looking for that spare that will allow her to have the 3rd attempt.
How close is it?
She successfully gets the spare, allowing her that 3rd attempt. And she bowls a 9. The final score on lane 21 is Remy Gray at 145, Eve Wicks at 147, and Ramey Shields at 180. Now shifting our attention over to lanes 23 and 24, we have Lauren Deck, who has just pulled an 8 for her 8th frame. She has a final score of 71 after 8 frames. Mackenzie Peterson is now on her 8th frame. She has a total score of 110 after 7 frames. Mackenzie Peterson is now getting set for her 8th frame. Mackenzie Peterson has successfully bowled a strike for her 8th frame. Once again, a score update on lanes 21 and 22. We have Pioneers Remy Gray at a total score of 291 after 2 games, Eve Wicks at a total score of 264 after 2 games, and Ramey Shields at a total score of 347 after 2 games. The New Albany girls on lane 21-22 finished with a total score of 337 and 468 after the 2 games. Lauren Deck has bowled a 9 for her 9th frame. And she just barely misses the spare. She has 80 after 9 frames. Mackenzie Peterson is next up for the Pioneers. Mackenzie Peterson is now getting set for a 9th frame. And it looks like she has bowled a 7. Mackenzie Peterson has finished with the 7 for her 9th frame. Lauren Deck is up next. And she has bowled a 9. Lauren Deck is looking for this successful spare. And she gets it. She will now get that 3rd opportunity on the 10th frame. And it looks like she's bowled a 6 for her 3rd opportunity. Her final score is 96. Mackenzie Peterson is the final pioneer up on her final frame. Mackenzie Peterson is now bowled. And unfortunately, she has bowled a gutter ball. She will now attempt to redeem herself on her 2nd throw. And she bowls a 7. This puts her final score at 151. The New Albany girls in lanes 23-24 currently have a final score of 108 and 105, with the final New Albany girl bowling her 3rd frame now. She is finished with the 160. .161 is her final score. Final results on lane 23-24 are 96 and 151 for the Orange girls, and 108, 105, and 161 for the New Albany girls. We are now getting set for the Bakers for the girls bowling team. On lane 54, we're getting set for the Bakers. In New Albany on lane 24. The teams are now having their team meeting. Let's go Nears indeed. And the first Pioneer to throw has bowled a 7. First frame is at 9. Next up is Pioneer Remy Gray. She will be bowling for the second frame. Looks like she's bowled a 5. The girls' teams are getting very hyped up for these Bakers. Remy Gray is getting set for her second throw. And she's bowled an 8 in her second frame. The New Albany girls currently lead Orange 26-17 after the first 2 frames. Eve Wicks has just bowled a strike for the third frame for the Pioneers. The New Albany girls have just bowled a spare for the third frame. Bowling fourth is senior Mackenzie Peterson. She has bowled a strike for the fourth frame. That is 2 strikes in a row for the Pioneers. Look at those graphics on the TV. Ramey Shields will be bowling the 5th frame. She's bowled a 9. She will now be looking for that spare in the second frame. Second throw, my apologies. she has completed the spare for the 5th frame. The Pioneers are currently at 76 after 5. Pioneers' Lauren Deck has bowled a 7 for the 6th frame. She will also be looking to complete the spare. And she gets one of the 3 pins remaining. Pioneers' final score is 91 after 6 frames. Remy Gray's bowled a 9 in her first throw. She is now looking to complete the spare. And she completes it. Eve Wicks is up next. And she bowls a 9 as well. She will now look to complete the spare. And she barely misses it, but that's okay. The Pioneers still lead New Albany 119 to 80. New Albany is currently on their 8th frame. New Albany has bowled a 7 in the first throw of their 8th frame. Senior Mackenzie Patterson has just bowled an 8. She will now look to complete the spare. Pioneer Ramey Shields is up next for the final frame of the first. And she bowls an 8. She's looking for the spare, and she gets it. She will get the 3rd attempt on the 10th frame. Looks like she's bowled a 6 on the third attempt. Pioneers finish at 153. Orange is currently in the lead after the first game at 153 to 122. That is a 31 pin lead. Pretty impressive. Pioneers will now switch over to lane 24. The Pioneers have bowled a 9 in the first frame. New Albany has bowled a 7. Pioneers, Remy Gray is now getting set for her throw on the second frame. And she bowls a 9 in her first throw. New Albany has just bowled a strike. Pioneers' Remy Grays unfortunately missed the final pin. Pioneers are currently at 18. Pioneers are now looking for the final 2 pins. Very energetic over here. Pioneers' Ramey Shields successfully bowling a 9. She will now look for that final pin to complete a spare. Looks like the scoreboards are a little mixed up, with the Orange Girls' scores actually on lane 24. Even though it is labeled as NAHS, it is currently the Orange Girls. The Orange girls have bowled a strike. The Orange girls have just pulled another strike. That is 2 strikes in a row. Love the animations on the scoreboard. Pioneers are currently at 108 after 7 frames. Not quite sure why the scoreboards are a little mixed up. Pioneers have just pulled an 8. They will now look to complete the spare. They are now looking to complete the spare. And the Pioneers complete the spare. Ladies and gentlemen, watch out. The Pioneer girls are on fire. Mackenzie Peterson is now getting set for her final frame of these Bakers. She's looking to increase the Pioneers' impressive lead. And she bowls a strike. Impressive. Next up is junior Ramey Shields. And she bowls a strike. It's 2 strikes in a row for the Pioneers. Pioneers currently sit at 176. And a 9 to complete the Pioneers' final impressive score of the second Bakers game at 194. They finished with the 153 for the first game and a 194 for the second game. That is quite impressive. Over on lane 3, the New Albany girls just bowled a 9 for their final frame. They now look to complete the second attempt in hopes to get the third attempt. And she bowls a spare. And she bowls an 8 for the third attempt, finishing at 149 for the second Bakers. The Pioneers have won these Bakers with a pretty impressive score of 195 plus 302. And that's all we have for you today, Pioneers. Thanks for tuning in to the girls bowling here on senior night at Capri Lanes against New Albany High School. Be sure to check out other live sporting events, and we hope to see you again at another sporting event nearby very soon.